Hey, Crispy Crew, welcome back to Crispy Cocktails, where we bring you the best drinks, the best conversations, and get crispy with leaders, coaches, mentors, entrepreneurs, and all-around badasses making waves. If you're loving what we do, don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you never miss a sip of the action. And while you're at it, check out our website at crispycocktails.com for everything you need. Explore our flavors, find a retailer near you, browse our gallery, and get answers to your top questions. Before we jump in, don't forget to follow, share, and tag us while you sip. Now, let's meet today's guests. Cheers and get crispy. Okay, so today I'm sitting down with Willis and Ashley Blankenship.
Yeah.
Hope that I'm saying that right. With Red Rocks Vodka here in Colorado, but you're local, and you have some of the best tasting vodka that I've ever had.
Oh, thank you.
And I love that you guys have done your own thing and you've gotten into entrepreneurship. And tell us a little bit about your story.
Well,
Can I make one quick correction?
Sure.
Red Rock Spirits now.
yeah, we
We
just
are
Oh.
more than one spirit.
Okay.
Vodka and a whiskey.
Red Rocks cut
Okay.
cask.
Nice.
Yep.
So Red Rock Spirits. So you have the whiskey now too.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, so that's been exciting. But we got into this because Willis was the breadwinner. I grew up as a recording artist and then became a stay-at-home mom for the most part. I would do songwriting and things like that throughout the years, but wasn't bringing in a whole lot of money. And then I became a birth doula, where I help support birthing people give birth, which also didn't bring in a lot of money, but I was very passionate about it. But he ended up being medically disqualified. Do you want to talk about that?
Sure. Yeah, so to touch up on hers, she was a no-joke artist, by the way.
Yeah.
Ashley Ballard, look her
Oh
up.
no, you said my
She
old name.
She actually had a number one, her first single was number one in 20-something major markets. So
Wow.
she was
Very cool.
She
What was the
She
song?
was almost a really big deal.
I had one single release.
Almost.
It was called Hottie.
Okay.
It's like very pop.
And it was about him?
No, I hadn't met him yet. I was probably like 13 when I recorded that. So it was
Oh,
a long,
wow.
long time ago. Yeah.
That's very
Yeah,
cool.
13, maybe 14, but yeah. Anyway.
Sorry, I love to embarrass her at these moments. I was an air traffic controller for 22 years. I got a medical retirement from that. Had to start taking some meds, so they wouldn't let me talk to airplanes anymore. So it was, what the heck are we going to do now?
Yeah.
We jumped into this. Yeah.
Okay. So tell me how you got into it. So you found a distillery or a company already. Red Rocks Vodka was already out there, right? And how did you find it to purchase it?
So I was actually just on a business brokerage site looking around for something for her father-in-law and trying to find something to sustain him and her mom in a business, and couldn't find anything for him.
I wanted it very safe. And this.
What was he
this
looking
is
for?
not safe. I don't know. Something that was like really well established, that it had, like steady income and things like that, which this is clearly not that.
Couldn't find anything for him, but I came across, I was like, babe, Red Rocks Vodka. I was like, I could market the hell out of this here in Colorado. And of course, your response was,
Hell no. I said no. Because I didn't know anything about it. I was very averse to risk taking at the time, and I don't know. I was afraid. And then every night I'd be like, but if we did do it, we could do this and we could do that. And I started, like, the wheels started turning. I started getting really excited about what it could potentially be. And I honestly don't know why I decided to say yes, because like I said, I'm very risk averse. And I think it was maybe the mix of like him losing his job that I thought would always be there, and, stable government job. I thought, that's always going to be our fallback no matter what. And then COVID was like, the world could just like explode at any second. And I was like, why not? Like, let's just go for it. So here we are.
That's cool. And you guys started how long ago?
so we bought that, it was 2 years ago, February.
Okay.
That's when we got our license.
Yeah. And then, it was only in 24 locations,
So it was brand
very
new.
little
It
sales,
was
not much
very
going
new.
on.
And we needed a complete rebrand. So we did that. But we really like the name, great name. And
Yeah, so Red Rocks Vodka and now Red Rocks Spirits. So you guys basically bought the name from the other company. And did they have any employees? Did they have a place? Did they have a process? Anything like that?
they did have the process. So we partnered with another local distillery, Balmer Peak.
Okay.
And they help us to make the products that we make, and they've been awesome to work with. And so we did get that introduction and the name.
Okay. So you got into the introduction. You got the other company that makes the vodka. Do they bottle it for you as well?
Yeah, so we bottle it at their
facility.
Okay. And now fast forward 2 years later, and how many stores are you guys in now?
We just hit 450.
Yeah. That's incredible. That is so amazing.
Thank you.
And
that's on and off premise. So yeah, that's bars, restaurants, and liquor stores.
Everywhere selling or serving us.
yeah, and for anybody that doesn't know, on-premise accounts are where the alcohol or the product is consumed on the premise of the location. Off-premise is where you go in or buy the bottle of vodka or anything and consume it off of their premise. So you're in how many off-premise and on-premise stores do you know?
It's
or what's the percentage?
Definitely mostly off-premise.
Okay, so mostly liquor stores.
I think we're about 100 on.
Yeah, 100 on, and about the rest liquor stores.
Okay, and you guys finally decided to take the step, and you were convinced, and you got into it, and you guys went into it full time, and this is the only thing that you guys do right now too,
That's
right?
all we do. Yeah.
Yeah, and how do you guys run the business as a partnership, being together as well? How did the dynamics work that way?
Interestingly, I thought it was going to be terrible. I was like, we're going to be at each other's throats all the time.
Yeah.
But we actually work excellently together. This is probably the happiest we've ever been in our marriage. We have such different skill sets, but we both work really hard and really fast. And so when we're parallel together, it's just like we can both support one another without kind of stepping on each other's toes. And it's been awesome, actually, surprisingly.
So and what is your role in the company?
I do everything other than sales. So he handles all the sales. He's excellent at it. I'm not great at talking to people, really. So I do like anything else. I do the bookkeeping. I do all the, licensing. I do all the marketing, all the advertising, everything else.
What have you seen the most success in your marketing practices? What works the best?
Well, for us, I haven't been able to crack social media very well, but I found that a lot of the out-of-home advertisement we've done has been really great. So like billboards, radio ads, like those types of things, we get a lot of views on those. We've been able to get a couple of stories on local news channels. Those have been excellent. Like people still, even though it was months, like last year, it happened.
A year ago, yeah.
People still were like, "Oh, I saw you on the news one time," and I'm like, "That's awesome."
Yeah,
I was on Channel 9. Yeah, that was us. That's crazy.
Yeah.
So very cool. And then you are focused on all of the sales. Kind of, what does that look like?
That so we have distribution. We got distribution just about a year ago now. That's definitely been a game changer for us. Before that, I was just running constantly. I couldn't keep up between trying to get new placements, trying to get more stores, collect payments, all that kind of stuff.
So were you doing distribution and sales, or were you doing the distribution as well?
We both were
doing it together.
Distribution. Yeah, if it would be like, oh, this store needs a case, and I would go drive and bring it to them, and it was kind of a mess. Like it was just kind of like, they need some right now, and I'm like, okay, grabbing the
I'm
case.
way over here. Can you run over there?
So yeah, we would team up on that. But as we've grown, it just the roles have become much more separated.
Yeah. And then, so how do you go about your sales process? So how many hours a week do you work, and what's your approach to dealing with liquor store owners or bar owners? What's the best way to complete a sale in your business and in your experience?
Just get people to taste it.
Liquid to lips.
Liquid to lips. I always say liquor to lips for some reason.
Liquor to lips.
Because I got liquor. Yeah, so it's a little different, right? Get people to taste it, showing the difference in our price and quality, because our vodka is really aggressively priced. So I can give people a better margin, local product, great name that people obviously connect with really well here in Colorado. So that goes over really well. Plus, with the accolades of having, the official vodka for the Colorado Rockies and the Colorado Spartans, and now DU, which we just signed last week.
Which is Denver University. Yeah. How is it like dealing with some of those major sports teams like the Rockies, the Spartans, and ultimately DU and in their program?
They've been
Awesome.
Yeah.
I love working with them. They're great. They are very professional, thoughtful. It's just like we get, they will sell our product well, like they represent our product well. It's been really great.
Are those partnerships expensive for you guys as a business?
Yes, for us they are, but we do make back some in sales. So it's kind of evens out.
Yeah.
But the initial cost is, yes, it is expensive.
We're hoping it evens out anyways. We're
Those are our projections.
We're into our first full season with the Rockies, so we'll see. Obviously, we don't know what DU is going to be for us yet.
So what kind of kickbacks will you get from the Rockies in the partnership agreement that you have with them?
What do you mean kickback?
Well, I'm saying like not kickbacks, but I was thinking like, will they throw you tickets? Will they do like your promotions on their big screens? Will they, or do they just sell your product inside the stadium?
Yeah, so we get a lot of benefits from them by partnering with them. So advertisements, tickets, we get seat nights, we get a lot of fun stuff.
Okay.
But that's all negotiated into the contract that we have with them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
But if you ever need tickets, let me know. I can probably hook you.
Definitely. I'm going to hold you to that one for sure. I do love the Rockies, even though they're not the best team.
It's just fun to go to a game. Like, I love going to that stadium. It's a beautiful stadium. It's just a fun day to just hang there and drink Red Rocks vodka.
Yeah, for sure. So walk me through some of the process that you have from start to finish. And I know that you said you work with another company that gives you your vodka and they bottle it. So you have basically like a co-packer that you work with, and then you'll get that over to your distributor. And it sounds like, I think that you're working with Elite Brands now, and they probably have and work with over, probably 5,000 stores in the area, and they probably go across state lines and stuff. And then so they'll do all of your distribution, and you can use their resources, their sales guys and their trucks to do all the distribution and everything like that. And then so you'll go out and sell the product too alongside their sales guys, and then you probably also will punch orders for them as well. And then Elite, they pay you probably 30 days after you bring product to them or sell it to them, and then it's a constant cycle, right? So do you guys keep a lot of different stocks and SKUs in stock, and how do you do the production runs, and how do you keep this whole thing going? How does that all work?
Well, that was only about 20 questions.
We keep so I did meet with a what's it called, where they tell who did we meet with? The supply chain manager. I met with a supply chain manager to kind of learn how to do that, because I didn't know. And he recommended we keep about 2 to 3 months of stock on hand for each SKU. So we have our warehouse, and sometimes we're 1 month, sometimes we're 2 or 3 months, and we just kind of make sure I never let it go past 1 month on hand. So once I know, okay, they just ordered this much, I'll schedule another bottling, and then we get our new product in.
Okay. How is your co-packer as far as getting another month of supply? Like, if you put in an order, are they a few months out, or will they make it?
No, so right now we actually bottle it with them. We kind of essentially rent out their facilities,
Okay.
and they help us to do all the processes. But
Plus we're
we
really
go
cheap
there.
labor.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
go there right now. I think it's going to change hopefully soon in the future. But right now we go to their facility. We are bottling all the bottles, and right now with our current processes, we can get, like, for the 750s for vodka, we get around just over 3,000 bottles in one day. And
Wow.
then for the whiskey,
3,000 bottles in a day?
yeah,
hustling.
I mean, you're like this the whole time, like,
Yeah.
all day long. It's exhausting.
Is it an
but
8-hour shift or a 12-hour shift?
We do like from like 9 or 10, depending on what happens with the truck. Sometimes crazy stuff happens. last volley we had a full pallet, and they're like, what are they, like 7 feet high or something, of unfilled bottles, and it fell off the back of the truck.
The whole pallet did?
whole pallet.
And you lost the entire pallet?
Not the
full?
entire pallet. The
bottles are surprisingly strong.
Yeah, the ones that on the bottom were sand. It was like completely demolished. But the ones on the top were like salvageable. Like some would have like one random broken one. So we had to go through every box. So we got a late start that day. But we still ended up getting like 3,200 bottles.
Yeah, we still got
even with
3,200 bottles on that day.
We were going real fast. But with the whiskey, it takes a little bit longer because of the filtration. And so we only get about 2,200 bottles.
You know, so yeah, when you're dumping the barrels in, you know, you get some of the charcoal that gets in there, so that's got to get filtered out and stuff, and sometimes that slows down the whole bottling process. And but no, it goes pretty quick.
Yeah, we're moving.
Yeah, and then you get that over to your distributor, and they take that over to their warehouse.
So we take that over to our
Take it to our
warehouse.
warehouse.
Okay,
And
where's your
then-
guys' warehouse?
In Denver.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, off of 70 in the Holly over there. We got 2,100 square feet. That's pretty stock.
It's not your garage or anything like that?
No.
No. You gotta have a licensed space. You cannot have it at your
Yeah,
garage.
definitely.
We started in a little, I think it was like a 5x5 public storage, just like a little thing, and then we've grown, you know.
And then every
as-
time you
as
get a
we
bigger
go.
space, you're always like,
We need
oh
more
man,
space.
imagine when we get this filled up, and then imagine we get this filled up, and then we just keep
Yeah.
filling up as we've been growing.
Okay, so now you have a 2,100 square foot warehouse, so that's probably where you keep your 1 month of supply, and then you can get that over to your distributor.
Yeah, so
And-
we picked a warehouse that was very close to our distributor. They're probably like 2 minutes down the road, so they'll come pick up when they want an order, and yeah, they take it away, and then we start the process over again.
Very cool.
But so to go back to the sales stuff and to go back to the distribute process. So yeah, they have about 25 to 30
Sales reps.
sales reps. There we go. Thank you. That run around the state. They have about 4,000 accounts in the state, I think.
I'm not
3,500, 4,000, somewhere in that range. So yes, so I'll go into bars, liquor stores, hotels, wherever anybody that sells liquor, right, and try to introduce them, and then I either get them the application and I hook them up with the sales rep and get them in contact either through text or email, and then try to get the follow-up done there because everybody has to sign up to our distributor. So that's like the only kind of problem with having a distributor of our size. We're not with one of the big ones,
But you're not with one of the really small ones either.
but we're not with
Yeah.
one of the really small ones either. At the time when we signed up, everybody was like, "You're too small for one of these big distributors. You're just gonna get lost in their bag. They got all the big brands that they got to try to sell, and you're never gonna get talked about." So everybody said this would be a great company to be with, and they've been awesome. I mean, we started last year at about 150 accounts, and we ended last year at about 375. So they've definitely helped out a lot. So it's getting, you know, the liquor store or the bar in touch with them, getting them to sign up with our distributor because they're the only ones that can distribute for us. And no, I can't punch sales for them. I got to hook them up with the sales rep and get the stuff over to them and get them to fill out the application. And that's a general process.
How much does the distributor charge you guys to work with them?
So they don't charge us to work with them, but they buy the product at a certain price. So it's obviously below retail. And
Yeah.
then they make their margin that
So
way.
basically at a wholesale cost.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you get paid directly from the distributor, and then they go out and sell the product, and then they make their
They make
percentage
their
off
margin
it.
off the retail price. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. And then we hit the sales force, and we're out and about and selling product, and now we're in roughly 450 stores. So you guys are growing at a pretty fast rate, especially since you only started 2 years ago and bought it from somebody who was only in 24 stores.
Yeah.
So that's quite a bit. So you guys are growing at a pretty significant rate, which is a testament to you guys and all the hard work that you're putting in
Thank you.
and all of that good stuff. seeing where the company is now and seeing from where you started, what advice would you give somebody that's getting into this space and possibly might want to make their own distillery or have their own vodka or whiskey or own spirit company? What advice would you give them?
Don't do it. Don't.
And why do you say that?
It's hard. It's really hard. I would say get ready to work harder than you thought you were going to have to do.
Yeah.
Because everybody has dream. When you're a dreamer like that and you want to do something special, you have these really ideas of grandeur that, it's going to be, people are going to be dying to buy this. Like, it's going to be flying off the shelves because look how beautiful it is. Look at our name. Look at how delicious it is. And you have all these ideas, but you have to make people want to do that even though it's perfect and even though you love it so much.
Even though they should connect so well with their local brand and everybody loves Red Rocks and it's smoother, it's cheaper,
it's still
local,
a lot of work to get it sold, and I think that is it's just harder than we thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
To do.
Well, it was one of the hardest things that you had to deal with.
Honestly, every day there's something that I'm like, what the heck? This, like, why? Like, it should be easy. This should be easier. But the hardest thing we've done so far is to make our little 50 bottles.
50 milliliter
Yep,
bottles.
the 50
So the little
milliliters.
like shooters.
The
Yes.
shooters. Oh my gosh, we've had so many problems with those. They have been torturous, and
We tried to go through one company, a local company. We want to support local companies, and that dude.
no,
Squash
it
it.
was just that.
And then-
it didn't work.
And then we tried to go through another one, and then that was a shit show. And then, so we finally went another way, and it worked out great. But it's just, there's always something.
Yeah, I know that dealing with co-packers can be very difficult sometimes, and dealing with them and their processes and their people, because they're doing all the work and you're paying them to get it done, and they don't keep the same standards, and they can tell you one thing and do something different, and even though you're paying them,
And have a contract.
yeah, definitely, right? So you got to make sure that you know who you're dealing with and who you're getting into business with. And so basically, did you go through 2 co-packers that didn't work out, and then you're on your 3rd one now? Because I know you
Yeah.
guys do have the 50 milliliter bottle.
Yeah, the 50s are out, and they're adorable and very cute. They're like a baby. Like, it's like so much work just to get them into the world, and then now they're here. But yeah, so the 50s are out. We found a company that was great to work with. But in order to get the cost down enough to where somebody would actually want to pay for a little bottle, we had to buy a lot.
Yes. So economies of scale. So you had
Yeah.
to order in bulk.
Yeah.
And what was the bulk order that you did? How big was it?
Only 96,000.
96,000
that's it.
bottles.
Yeah.
Okay, wow. And now you have the job of going to sell all of those.
Yeah.
Okay.
And of course, we got that out right before we got our whiskey out. So now I got 2 new products to try to get out there and get on the shelves. And you think it's going to be so easy because, well, they're already carrying the vodka and seem to be doing well. Well, then they'll pick up these right with it too, right?
No.
Yeah, and no, it's just not how it goes. So it's the whole introduction process like over again to try to get them to pick this up and show them how to sell it. And everything's a process, right?
Well, what keeps you guys going and what keeps you sticking with it to move forward?
I think we just don't feel like we have another option. I think we don't have anything to fall back on at this point in time, and this is it. We gotta feed our kids. We got 3 of them. They're teenagers. They eat a lot, and so yeah, this is it. Like, this is our livelihood.
My 401k is this company. So I mean, that's what we've invested to grow it. We got to get that money back somehow, right? So we're just gonna keep plugging away.
Well, and what are the dreams and vision of the future for the next 3 to 5 years?
The next year is just going to keep trying to grow the brand. Try to get a decent foothold in Colorado, because we're only Colorado right now. Our distributor doesn't actually go outside of Colorado. So keep growing it here, trying to get a decent market share, and then we'll look to see what the other options are for other states, if that seems to be where things are headed.
Gotcha. Very cool. And in your guys' experience, what are some of the things that have made you the most successful in your business? Or what do you think makes a successful entrepreneur?
Just the hustle.
Yeah, because I can see that in you. Like the perseverance, the hustle, even, saying like, don't get in it, right? which could be good or bad advice. But just being out there, persevering, the hustle, the grit, doing things, I think that makes a great entrepreneur. And I can see it in you guys, right? I can see that you're out pounding the pavement, and it's just you two doing it, and you're doing your own bottling, and you're going from a storage unit to a warehouse to working with a distributor. And as you continue to grow, you just got to keep your head down. You got to just keep doing it. And it's a testament to you guys and everything that you've done, for sure. And all of that good stuff. So do you guys have any employees that you work with at all either?
We have like contract employees that, we'll hire somebody to come help us bottle on bottling days, and they'll come and help us for the day. And we have other companies. Yeah, we have other companies that we work with, but we don't have any like employees.
Okay. And how do the contract employees work? How do you find?
Just friends that are out of work, that need a job, and they come and help us, and we pay them for the day, and they're happy to do it. And yeah.
So we just get the contract workers out here and just call some friends and stuff?
Yeah.
It's just whatever we can do to make it work and keep the costs down, right?
Yeah.
So that's good. What habits do you guys have personally that's helped you be successful?
I think my habit, I have a hard time procrastinating. I have to get things done, or else I like panic inside. And so I think that helps me to just work more, get more done in a day. And if it's on my to-do list, I really can't rest until cross it off.
Yep.
That's like a toxic trait, I think, but it works in my favor.
Yeah.
And follow up. You have to follow up, either with the leads that you have, or the leads that you're giving to the distributor, and making sure that those guys are following back up with the ones that you're giving them. Hey, did you get over to this place? How did it go? What was the feedback? Or I go back over an email. I
think we both really care about people too, and I think people can sense that in us. And, like even working with a distributor or anybody we work with, like I want them to be taken care of, and I want them to feel good about working with us, and I just want everybody who experiences our product to have a good experience. And so I think that helps too.
Yeah, I think that definitely building relationships inside business is a crucial part of it as you continue to grow, because you can definitely squash those, and you want to take care of your people, and you want your distributor to make money so that way they stay in business so you guys can make money. You want your liquor stores to stay in business, so you want to have a good relationship with them as well. I know one of the biggest things for me is building relationships with the vendors, building relationships with the liquor store owners, building relationships with everybody that's involved, including your employees and everything.
Yeah.
And I think that that's what it takes to be a good leader as well, right? And I think that what you pointed on, like the follow-up as well, I can tell that you're very persistent. And sometimes, how many times would you say on average you have to go into a liquor store or a bar or restaurant before they actually buy? What's the average?
Average, I'd say probably 3 times.
So 3 times. So 3 times just to get that sale. So you have to follow up not once, but twice after the first time you actually go there. Yeah. So it takes a lot of time.
And some are way more than that.
Yeah.
Like the big ones especially, he'll go back and back and back.
Yeah. Is it harder to get into the bigger stores or the littler stores?
The bigger, for sure.
Yeah.
The bigger ones.
That's interesting, because you think that they would have more floor space, that they would sell more products, that they could have more SKUs, that they could actually keep that product. Why do you think the big stores are tougher to buy or sell to?
The bigger stores, I think, just see so many different people. They get pitched stuff constantly, versus the mom and pops they like that, just the fact that you are actually in there. The big ones don't care because they get everybody in there. But the little ones, they don't see the owner, they don't see a lot of the hustle and that kind of stuff, and they definitely respect that, because that's what they're doing too. So the little ones, man, they're a breeze. One time on most of those, for a visit.
Yeah, and they're great to work with usually. I love working with the local mom and pop places.
The only problem though is if they don't have a lead, and then they got to sign up, and then it's like, oh, I got to sign up with another
They don't
distributor.
have our distributor already as an account.
Okay,
then
if they don't have a lead.
our distributor.
Oh, okay. Oh, if they don't know Elite, your distributor, so they have to sign up, and you probably help them through that process, right?
If they're willing to actually do it, because it's just like, another one I got to deal with, because it's always bringing more, because it's always bringing more than one product.
Yeah.
Elite, of course, tries to get them to buy more than one product, and then they got to try to stock that and try to sell that. So they can definitely see that as a little bit of a pain.
Yeah. And you said Elite has like 25 salespeople that work for them, roughly, give or take.
Yeah, something like that.
Do you think that you sell more than their 25 guys because you're so close and it's your company? Or do you think that they've helped you grow a little bit faster than you could have on your own?
I think both. I think the way we've thought about it is they are great at client management. So now he doesn't have to go in after they make that initial sale. He doesn't have to go in a couple weeks. Do you need more? So they kind of handle all of that management. But they have other products that they're trying to sell too. We don't expect them to only show our product to everybody. So that's why we kind of hedge our bets with him going around everywhere and making sure that those places are seeing our product also. And that's been a really great partnership.
Teamwork makes the dream work, right?
Yeah, definitely. So cool. And I know you started out with the vodka, and now we've got the 50 milliliters and the whiskey. What made you decide to expand and grow into another brand? Well, I wouldn't say another brand, but another SKU or another product.
I love whiskey. I'm a whiskey girl.
Okay, so it's for you.
It's for me.
Yeah. So you're the whiskey guy.
I'm a
and
whiskey
you the
gal.
vodka guy?
No, we're both
We both
whiskey
like
people.
whiskey.
Both whiskey. Okay.
Yeah, but that's why I like our vodka, because it does have more of a mouthfeel of a whiskey. It's kind of a silkier mouthfeel than most vodkas. So I do like our vodka, but I love the whiskey. We drink it too much. We get high on our own supply over here. Because it's really, really good. We're really excited about it.
That's cool. How long have you had it?
We just put it out like a month ago.
Yeah, 5-6 weeks out now.
Something like that.
And so, minor correction on the vodka. We do have handles too.
Okay.
And this is actually, as you'll see, is a 1 liter for on premise. So we only retail the 1 liters for on premise. So yeah, we got the full line for the vodka, but the whiskey. The other kind of cool thing, besides it being freaking delicious, it's actually a sustainable whiskey to use a lot less oak. The oak industry is going to fall off a cliff in about 10 years. They're just not seeing the regrowth that they really need to see. So yeah, the vast majority of it's actually a sustainable whiskey, and then we mixed that with an almost 4-year bourbon, and yeah, it came out delicious.
Very, very,
Very
tasty.
good.
Yeah.
Do you think that you'll ever do any other iterations, like in any flavored whiskeys or flavored vodkas?
We're thinking about it. Yeah, we're thinking about doing something with the whiskey that might be fun.
Some more product development?
Yeah.
Well, and obviously the goal is to probably have one of each spirit out there. That's, I think most companies, that's what you kind of shoot for. You want to have more than one product. It takes up more shelf space. It's more visibility. Where if they like you on this one, I know the Red Rocks vodka is really good. Had that, well, let's try their whiskey. That's probably really good too, and or vice versa with, if we get a rum out there or a
Tequila or
gin or all that kind of stuff.
So you want to do kind of one of each type. So you'd like to have one vodka, one whiskey, one gin, one rum, one tequila. That's kind of
the
general idea. Yeah.
We've talked
Okay.
about that. So we're going to try doing some flavors, and if I can't get it to taste delicious, I'm not going to put it out. So I'm not just going to put something out just to put something out. So I'm really picky about what I want it to taste like. So that's why we're kind of like slow to come out with new things and new flavors, because I just want to find the best, and that's it.
Yeah.
Plus, you got to remember, each new product, that's more stuff that we got to buy in advance,
More inventory,
have in our
more
warehouse.
everything.
Yeah.
More space, more everything.
Yeah, definitely. I know that it can get difficult in product development, but that's the fun part, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
When you're
It
trying
is
different
really
things
fun.
and making a good product and stuff. So yeah, that's really good. And I wish you guys the most success. I hope that you continue to grow and it becomes something super successful for you guys, and that you can go out of state and you continue to take care of your family and all of that good stuff. So what's your favorite thing about being an entrepreneur? Like what's the best part of it to you guys?
I think the best part is being able to create things is really, really cool. And also scheduling, can't beat it. Like if I have to go pick up my kids, I can schedule around that and go get my kids or go to their games or things like that. So
Yeah, you have
that's
the
really
freedom.
important to me.
Yeah, so you're not at the mercy of having a boss or anything
Yeah.
like that. How about you?
The people. I really enjoy, and I think I feed off of being around people, and that definitely increases my mood, and I think it's fun. And it's good all around. I like the running around instead of, I spent 22 years sitting talking to a computer screen that would talk back to me in a little chair in a dark room.
Yeah.
This is a lot more fun than that.
Yeah, definitely. Plus, you're in charge of your own destiny, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and seeing people get behind it and the excitement when people try it and have a great reaction, which luckily almost all of them do. It's fun. It's fun to see.
Yeah. If you could go back and change anything from the get-go, what would you change? What would you have done different? Ooh, man, that is a loaded
That's
question.
a tough one because it sounds like such a cliche, but we've really learned a lot from every mistake that we've done. And we had a steep learning curve, growing as fast as we're growing and, trying to do what we're doing. It's been like lesson after lesson after lesson after lesson. So although I would love to say I want to go back and make it easier, I don't know if I could say that because I don't think I would know as much as I know now had it been an easier process at the beginning. So I think you just got to stumble and get back up and learn and try not to make that same mistake again and just keep doing it over and over again. And the problems get bigger and your learning gets bigger and everything kind of grows together.
Yeah, and you just keep figuring it out. Did you guys work with any mentors or anything?
We don't have like a mentor, but we talk to anybody who will talk to us, and we pick their brains and all the time, and a lot of different local companies. We've spoken with them about a lot of stuff, and it's a great community here in Colorado, and so that's been super, super helpful. And friends of people who, I used to do this, or I used to be a distributor, or things like that. We talk to everybody like that.
Yeah. What's one thing, and I know that we talked about this a little bit earlier, but if there was any advice other than don't get into it for anybody that's not just getting into the whiskey or vodka space, what advice would you give somebody that's starting out and wanting to start their own business? What advice would you give them?
I would say don't be afraid to fail. Don't be afraid to make a mistake. Don't be afraid to mess up, because all of your mistakes and all of your mess ups are going to culminate into something else and something bigger and better if you just keep going. Don't let anybody tell you you can't do it. Don't let anybody tell you that you're doing a bad job, because you're learning. And so even though you're not perfect when you first start, you're going to get better if you just keep doing it.
Yeah, that's great advice. I appreciate you guys so much for coming down here and being a part of this.
Thanks for having me.
Can you give mine real fast?
Yeah,
The
definitely.
answer to that? Get used to no. You're gonna
That's a
get
good one too.
so many no's. Whether it's at a tasting, you're gonna get so many people that, and this is the one that drives me freaking crazy. They say no to tasting, the vodka or whiskey, and then you see them go back to the shelf and grab a bottle of vodka or whiskey and walk right back by you, and you're just like,
they know
I'm
what they
selling
like.
the product
They know
that
what they
you're
like.
buying. Why not try it? So you're definitely gonna get no's like crazy, and it's just a matter of, especially in the beginning, people want to see, are you a flash in the pan, or are you actually going to do the follow through? And that's why the follow through part is so important. They're gonna say no, and then you're gonna gotta come back the next week. Hey, I just wanted to see if you thought about it again. Wanted to say hi again. Blah 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 blah. Oh, I got this place and this place and this place to pick us up. So it's a matter of getting past those no's, seeing that more as a motivation, and how can I get that to be a yes? And if you're not one of those people, don't get into it.
Yeah.
Man, you're so negative with this advice.
It's not negative.
No, get used to hearing no. Because how many no's do you hear before you get a yes?
Oh man, that was so many. It's
Did you say 10, 20? 5?
every day's different, right?
Yeah.
I'd say it's probably a 10-to-1 ratio.
10-to-1 ratio. So 10% success rate, and it's all about the numbers, right? So you'll probably hit, 10, 20, 100 stores, and that's what you need to grow. But then hopefully things start snowballing and you get a little bit more volume, and then things get a little bit easier, and then your customers are buying your product more, and then you can get with a bigger distributor, and it is a grind from the get-go and from the start. So it's a testament to you guys with your perseverance, your grit, your follow-through, your sales, your production, your operation, everything that you guys have done to get here, because I think 90% of businesses fail within the first year or whatever. So you guys have already done it for 2 years, and you're growing and you're getting bigger and better. So you can find these products in Colorado here. And where can we find you on the socials?
At Red Rock Spirits is our handle for Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and YouTube. And we're most active on Instagram probably. And you can head to our website, redrockspirits.com, and we have a location finder and some merch if you are into that, and all kinds of different stuff.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, thank you guys so much for being here. And now we get to indulge in the product and get a little crispy and have some whiskey and some vodka. And so thank you guys so much.
Thank you.
Hey, thanks,
Yeah,
Chris.
for sure. Cool.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Here's to 5 o'clock somewhere in the middle of nowhere. Here's to a good tan and a buzz with the good ones that we love.